People who can fall asleep within 8 seconds of their head hitting their pillow. How the fuck do you fall asleep within 8 seconds of your head hitting your pillow? My brother is one of these people, and I asked him this recently. The trick is a clean conscience. I got nothing to think about. Me, how do you not think about anything? I dunno. I just stopped thinking. He's 16. I have created an imaginary world in my head that I only visit when I'm in bed and going to sleep. My mind associates those places and characters and narratives with sleep. Edit, how wonderful to wake up and discover that this comment went bananas. Smile, so cool to see so many people with awesome imaginations. Makes me so happy. Hit it hard enough. My friend does this. We'll be playing video games, then he'll suddenly be tired and good night. Literally seconds later I can hear him snoring in his room. You can't think, don't think of anything real or about falling asleep. Once you do, you'll never go to sleep. Best trick I've found when I don't fall asleep easy is to put myself in a movie. Like, imagine yourself walking through the gates of Hogwarts. What happens next? All up to you, and just let your imagination flow. Eventually you'll fall asleep without realizing it. Chronic sleep deprivation. I'm a lifelong insomniac, but my sister could fall asleep on her way to the pillow and sleep through the car going over train tracks. I wake up if a mouse farts across the street. I never got it. I use a meditation method I learned in a yoga class. Lay flat on your back, take deep breaths through your nose. As you exhale, mentally relax each muscle group, starting with your face and working down to your toes. Try to imagine exhaling through your muscles and out through your toes. Imagine your body slowly melting into your bed. This usually takes about 30 seconds to 1 minute. Next, imagine as vividly as possible a river. It helps if you use one from memory. I personally use a combination of the River Wild movie and memories from a family trip to the Green River. Imagine yourself walking out to the middle of the river. Let yourself get lost in the flow around you. Try to imagine any stray thoughts as floating to you on the river. As you think of things, set them in the water and watch them float away. This process without fail gets me to sleep within 10 minutes, if I am having trouble sleeping. But like Ralph Wiggins, sleep is where I am a Viking. For me it was a learned skill, thank US Army. They pushed me to work from Reveille to TAPS, and only allowed for 5 to 6 hours of sleep, and I need 7 to 8. I wore an alarm watch. Any break during the day, oh, I have 25 minutes? Set alarm watch, prop against a tree or lay down anywhere I could, bam, asleep. My wife is still amazed at how I do it. Man, I have insomnia and none of this shit works. Just basically never give a shit about anything meaningful, that way you'll never have anything to keep you awake. Totally healthy way to approach life. I'm a firefighter and my one partner says what he likes least about me is my ability to fall asleep so fast after returning from a call. It helps to be physically tired. Much easier to fall asleep when your body has been engaged in physical activity during the day. I try to lay perfectly still, and not allow myself to scratch my nose if it itches, for example. I just ignore the itch and next thing I know, it's time to get up. I just discovered that there are people with an inner monologue and this voice in their head allows them to have silent discussions and worry about decisions and whatnot. I don't have this. I don't have any voices talking to me. My preference is also to listen to a documentary on YouTube or Netflix. I set my timer on my phone to stop playing after 20 minutes and rarely stay awake till the end. I am very well versed on the first 10 minutes of World War II. I've worked 20+ shifts and be ridiculously tired and still takes me 20 to 30 minutes at least. So, what the answer is, I think it's just brain chemistry. Exercise a lot in the morning after waking up. I turn on Netflix, or Hulu, to a show I've seen a million times. I turn away from the screen and fall asleep. This is literally me. My husband is just the reverse. The main differences I observe between the two of us: 1. Immature, he is a thinker. Worrying about stuff keeps him up at night, whereas I go to bed with the reassurance I've done all I can do that day in case sera 2. He brings his phone to bed and browses Reddit. Strictly no screens an hour before bed. 3. Other than bringing the phone to bed, he has no routine. By about 9:30, I'm winding down with my skincare routine, washing up, making a hot drink, and then in bed with a book by 10:15 at the latest 4. Since I'm the high-energy person in the relationship, I am moving and doing things all the time: get home from work, cooking, have dinner, work out, do some laundry, read before bed. I'm pretty physically tired, drained by the time I hit the pillow. My husband runs at what seems to be a consistently lower energy level, like low enough that he needs a lot of downtime, usually in front of screens, to recharge, but high enough that he doesn't sleep well. Became a dad. Since my son was born, I physically cannot lay down without falling asleep. It literally just happens. More like 4 seconds. Stay awake until you fall asleep in the couch, then groggily walk to the bed when you inevitably wake up. I had to train myself to sleep fast. I went from taking hours upon hours to fall asleep, but now if I say I'm going to bed, I'll be asleep for you can say okay, which can sometimes be a bad thing. Ha ha ha. Start by turning off all electronics you are using, lay down, close your eyes, and no matter what, do not open them till morning. At first it's painful because you'll lay with your eyes shut for hours in boredom, but after a few weeks of doing this every night, your body gets trained into falling asleep faster and faster. It's basically breaking the habit of not being able to fall asleep. Hope this helps you sleep better. Smile. Depression. I have narcolepsy. I always said if I could have a superpower, it would be being able to go to sleep on demand. That's my secret, Cap. I'm always tired. Phase 1. Stay awake until about to pass out. Phase 2. Phase 3. Profit. I've been trying to sleep for 5 hours now and am starting to lose it. Coffee helps me. Weighted blanket. There's a proverb in my mother tongue that translates to "don't go to bed to sleep." What it essentially means is that one must not go to the bed unless he/she is very sleepy, so sleepy that he'll fall asleep instantly. One must never go to bed to lay down hope to fall asleep. As a person who takes at least an hour to sleep, as my brain doesn't shut up or have an off button, I salute you. 5 to 6 hours of sleep more nights than not. Makes it easy. You have to practice fake sleeping. When someone is in deep sleep, their breathing is a lot heavier and deep. Similar to meditation, the key to falling asleep fast is shutting off that conscious tick that keeps us awake. So practice quieting your thoughts and falling asleep by focusing on your breath. I don't fall asleep, I exclusively pass out. Welder pipe fitter with a new baby. I fall asleep standing up. Go to bed way too late. Only drawbacks: sometimes you'll pass out on the couch and possibly anger your significant other. BC they get insecure thinking you're actively avoiding them. When we're angry, we smother our faces with our pillows and scream until we pass out. I rarely take more than a few seconds to fall asleep. For me, the trick is timing. Don't go to bed early just because. You'll end up tossing and turning and you won't even rest, let alone sleep. Conversely, don't stay up for no good reason. You can end up getting too tired, too riled up, or too whatever, and have trouble sleeping. Sometimes, if the timing isn't just right, I'll sit up, grab a book, and read a bit. Takes your mind off the sleeping thing. Then, once you feel it coming, shut the book and go to sleep. No one more page and I'll go to sleep. I find reading is better than pretty much anything else, as you can do it in silence and comfort, which helps calm down unruly minds and prime you for that sweet sleep. Put in hard focused work all day. Accomplish what you truly want to accomplish. Don't have any regrets on the day. Those who can't sleep typically wander aimlessly throughout the day as well. They lay in bed regretting and reflecting on how they will have to do better tomorrow. Whereas the tired accomplished person passes out and wakes up ready to get going on today's tasks. It only takes a few good days to get things on track and sleep great. On the other hand, it only takes a few days of binging and being a slob to throw things out of whack. For a few days, weeks, a month, year, or even the rest of your life,